I was just thinking about scuba diving. I used to scuba dive. I haven't been in quite a while. I was thinking about some of the things that I used to do and see and some of the experiences I had. I'll start from the beginning. I became certified in 1972, and actually, it was the most exciting experience uh, that I ever had. A friend of mine in high school and I decided we're going to do this, and we went through the course and just had a great old time. I'm sure you probably remember the movie Jaws. Well, the night before our first deep water open dive at 90 something feet plus, Ron, that was my friend, Ron and I decided to go watch the movie Jaws at the theater. And we're sitting there watching this movie, and we just kind of looked at each other like, we must really be full of shit to be watching this movie because the next day we're going to be 90 plus feet down. Well, it was different. It was definitely different. We made it out to the boat and went to our first open water dive, deep water dive. And at 90 plus feet, the first experience I had at that depth was dream euphoria. It was as if I was in a dream. The pressure was so great that I felt like I was in a dream. I had no sense of really any touch. I could grasp onto something, hold something, but it was like a euphoric state. It's like somebody had slipped some good shit on me. It was an enjoyable dive. Strange, but enjoyable. And, strange enough, I didn't think about sharks. Never thought about sharks at all. But through the course of the years that I've dove, I guess, I had the chance to swim in a large school of barracuda, and the snaggly toothed little characters just following me all around. I had actually ridden on a sea turtle, a couple of sea turtles. Manta ray. Manta rays were great. Not manta ray. I'm sorry, sea ray. Sea ray. Sea rays are really great. They're friendly. They're curious. You grab onto them gently, and they immediately go into a dive mode. But that goes without saying. You kind of scare the hell out of them. Played with octopuses. There was a little baby octopus once that I had fun with. I was on one of the wrecks that we were diving. It was about yay big, just real small, about not even a foot. And it was holding on to something, and I was pulling on it, and it was holding on to a fish head, is what it was, and it wanted that fish head. It wasn't going to let it up, and that thing just pulled and pulled, and I could probably have gotten the thing, but I probably would have damaged the octopus, and I didn't want to do that, so I let him have it. I swam with moray eels. Actually seen a shark or two. It's incredible. It's incredible. Key West was fantastic. I really want to get out to. I really want to get out to the west coast, out to the Pacific to actually go around Hawaii and dive with some of the humpback whales, which was a dream that never came true. I never got a chance to go out there, but if there was a documentary, an oceanographer, researcher named Jacques Cousteau, who's now passed away. His boat was a Calypso. In fact, John Denver did a song about the Calypso. And they docked in Pensacola back years ago, and I actually got to meet him and actually got to board the Calypso, and that was an experience I'll never forget. If you do a Jacques Cousteau search for that on YouTube, you can find some videos on him. I don't have anything. I did not write the name down. It's French, obviously. But if you go ahead and I'll type in whales, sea, or whatever, or Cousteau, kind of get it sort of right, you'll come up with it. Him and his son have got videos out there. And it used to be an old series. It was called The Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau back in the 70s, I believe. I've yet to be able to find them since. But they were interesting documentaries, about an hour long each. But the getting back to the personal experience about diving, it's you never. It's a world. It's a world unto its own. It's a world unto its own, and without actually doing it, you really can't explain what it's like. The videos will give you an idea of what you will see, but the actual experience to be down there is another thing. It's a world of its own. And what inspired this particular video right here was a young lady named Heather who had expressed an interest in snorkeling, and I was thinking about that, and I just thought about all these old memories starting coming back, and the little things we used to do. I think one of the most dangerous things that's happened to myself was a few years back out in the Gulf. It's called the Three Barges. It's about 20-25 miles out into the Gulf. Not too deep. It's only about 65 foot. But two friends of mine and I were diving on that Three Barges. When we got to the dive site, there were about 3 or 4 dive boats out there already. We heaved anchor and went down doing some bottom time. And we circled the barges a couple of times, and all of a sudden, on the third time, we didn't see the anchor. And I was like, okay, what happened here? We surfaced, and damned if the anchor didn't break loose, and the boat had drifted about a half a mile. So at that point, we looked around, there was no other boats there. We were the only ones out there. So we had to fight the currents back to the boat. I was the first one into the boat. I threw out the lifeline, and we were just so totally exhausted. None of us wanted to even have a beer. But that was one of the scariest times I thought I'd have. Now, I knew, I said, I'm going to code here. I'm going to have a heart attack. They're going to find my body floating somewhere around, Key Largo, who knows. But that was an experience there. As far as sharks go, they kind of look at you, and I kind of look at them, or we'd look at each other, and that was about it. I've seen hammerheads. I've seen a few others, nurse sharks. But, for the most part, it was an experience. Sharks have got a bad role. They got a bad rap. And I'm going to end this up on speaking about sharks. They filmed Jaws 2, part of it here at Fort Pickens in Pensacola, Florida, and I actually got to see one of the mechanical sharks. But it took up the whole flatbed truck, They was driving it down the middle of town, uncovered, of course, for publicity. Biggest damn shark I'd ever seen. Now, if I ever saw something like that in real life, I would definitely be having to clean out the wetsuit. But anyway, if you get a chance to go diving, if you're not afraid of going underwater, swimming or whatever, swimming with the fishies, I highly recommend it. And Heather, like you said, you want to go snorkeling, start snorkeling, and then once the bug hits you, it's like flying. You just want to get into it more and more. Anyway, we'll talk at you all later. Have a good one. Ciao.